Right, boys, I'm sure we can all agree that the store I'm about to show you is the kind of Etsy dropshipping store that we want to run. This is a bread and butter store. It's super easy to manage, it's super easy to scale, and there is just such minimal headaches. So it's called Luxan, and if I just check in Everbee here, they are doing about $10,000 a month. But if we take a look, all they're selling is these beaded products. These beaded bracelets. There's very little change. They're targeting these different things with these products very minimal. They're able to get quality assurance of these products very well. They're able to get new products in very easy. They have their market, they have their demographic. They're just dialing in and scaling up. And I'm going to break down exactly how they are doing this. But let's have a quick look at this listing here. It's a bestseller. They've got some nice photos. They've got great brandability. I'll go more into that. They explain the stones. They explain this. They answer every FAQ you could imagine. They're hitting different niches in their titles, right? This one's primarily for men, gift for men, back to school. They're doing bundle discounts. So if you buy more, this is a nice new feature on Etsy. They have great feedback. They have a pretty easy delivery process in place. Now they are apparently dispatching from the US. I'm going to touch upon that so you can kind of dial this in based on whatever it is you want to do. Now I apologize, I am terrible at drawing, but I'm going to try. So first things first, let's have a quick rundown. I'm going to say here, they kind of have one product. They're just dialing in on these bead bracelets. It's, in my opinion, that's a one product store. Yes, they're trying to get into necklaces. Yes, this one product has a bunch of SKUs, a bunch of sizes and stuff, but the core component of this store is one product. And they set their listings up with one variant. So that means each listing only sells one product. They have their one product, which is the bead bracelets, and then they have one variant of that product. So they don't have a listing with 10, 20 different variations of this bracelet. So that means that they can, scale this one product by having a bunch of listings for the same product in a different variant, in a different design. It makes it so much easier. So they're scaling through quantity of listings and targeting, like we saw. I don't often draw in this, so I will get better over time, but that says targeting. And what I mean by the targeting is they have one product, one variant listings, and they're scaling out the quantity of the listings, and they're doing, each then listing is targeting a different event. It's different. It's a gift for men. It's back to school. It's a gift for woman, anniversary gift, Valentine's gift, summer gift, holiday essential. So now this one product has all these variations, and then each variation of it can have 10, 15 different listings because it's doing different targeting. I've talked about that in a previous video, but it makes it so much easier. And what else do they have? Right? They have brand presence. What I mean by that is, if we go on here, they have the brandable bags, these little velvety leather bags that come in. And now one of my favorite things to implement on stores is consistent images. All these images are the same. They're the same backdrop, the same style, the same dark elegance. They have this handmade US and their little logo on their photos. I think their logo is pretty damn dope, right? Now I know these bracelets aren't handmade. I've already found them on AliExpress, but they're giving off this great brand presence, this great brand appearance. Now let's talk about their logistics. One of my favorite parts about running an Etsy store. Now, they dispatch from US and they have a delivery time of about, 4 to 12 days. Now, this early end, this could mean if you're actually getting your delivery in 4 days to the US, this means, yeah, they are running in-house. If it is actually more towards the 12 days, then they're drop shipping, right? If you are drop shipping and you have some great logistics in place, then you can kind of have this wide window where you're saying it can come in 4 days, but it could also be 12. But if it does come in 12, I have already warned you, it's not on me. if we check back on it, this is within the US too. So yeah, apparently it dispatches from Glenview, Illinois. But you're telling me if I'm in Illinois, will still get to me on the 2nd of September? I don't think so. So that could be a clear sign that it is drop shipped. Maybe they're running last mile only. It would make sense, right? They're saying it's from the US, but it's not. This delivery time's kind of saying otherwise. So how can we get this delivery time down if we wanted to go into this? If this is the type of product and the infrastructure and the setup and the logistics we want to have in place, where maybe we can accurately get a 4-day delivery time, or maybe we can get about 6-7 days. Okay, now this type of product has cheap, there's an A there somewhere, COGS. Okay, one of my favorite things about this type of product is when you want to bulk buy, it's cheap as hell. You're not having a $30 COGS. You've got, what, $2 maybe even cheaper, depending on how much you buy. So you have multiple options when you want to bulk buy this. First option is we have in-house. So say you do live in the US, you can then go, yeah, I do dispatch from the US because I've bought the main bracelets that sell. I've bought them. They're in-house. I'm fulfilling from home. Lovely. Right, so now you probably are 1-day dispatch, 4-day delivery times, and you can rein this in. And maybe on some of your other listings, you don't have in-house. So that's when you have this stretched out dispatch time. If you don't want to do that, you can get a 3PL. Now, you're probably only going to want a 3PL when you're doing big numbers. Now, you're probably not at the minute. You probably have no need for a 3PL. The money it's going to cost you, you should probably just do in-house until it gets to that point. If you have a great relationship with your private supplier, you should be using a private supplier anyway, they will probably store some stuff for you. They will probably offer storage. Yep, you can order 100 of each bracelet in. That's fine. They're not going to charge you any storage fees. They're not going to put that on you. You're selling well. And now, order comes in. Same day, your private supplier can get it out, sent straight to the airport, have it dispatched straight to your customer. And then you can plug the last mile delivery in. And now, when you're playing around with this type of stuff, when you're working on your logistics and how it's actually going to be getting to the customer, that's when we can have these type of things, right? Velvet bags. What else can we have? We can have notes inside, editable QR codes that take them back to the review page for your product, that take them to, maybe you have a Shopify site and a discount code if they want to buy directly from you. One of my favorite things to do if you're doing in-house and shipping into the US or to the UK, right? People love this. Put a little pack of sweets in there. Sweets and a note. They're going to leave you a review every time. But something I have not talked about is upsells. If we go here, they have this little add-on. And now we can go, no wood gift box. Well, that's the normal price, right? £18.22. Or we can get a good gift wood box. And now it nearly doubles, right? And here's their wooden gift box, apparently. Pretty nice, to be fair, right? You can get this set up. You can have your supplier get these made. Maybe you buy the box and you have your own laser engraving machine and you do them yourself at home, right? Really cool. Level up. You know, a lot of people will buy that Q4. They want it coming to their friends in a neat little box. It makes it the perfect gift. Okay. And now upsells adds on to LTV, cross sales. Ignore my spelling on this, all right. AOV. Okay. So this wooden box. This wooden box upsell is adding to the AOV, but so is this. Right? Different sizes means different costs. So if you just want the smallest size, it's £18. If you want the largest size, it's £7 more. And if you have this one in here, right, this extra small 5.5 inches, only fits like a toddler's hands, they're not going to buy it. You rarely ever sell this size. Or maybe you even add a lower size in that's designed for like newborn babies. It's like a fucking inch long, right? but you sell it for £2. Now, when you're on the listing page, the product page, after the SERP, right, the customers placed a search and now they're seeing the listings on the page. They're going to see this. They're going to see your little thumbnail here. They're going to go, wow, that's a cool product. £2? Wow, let me click on that. Your click-through rate is going to be through the absolute roof. Okay, so you're going to get more people in. Obviously, they need to change. So they get that. They can have these optional upsells here. So we're going to be trying to increase that AOV through these sneaky little methods here. We're also going to be wanting to increase our lifetime value of the customer by then these type of things here. Velvet bags, notes, sweets, this type of stuff. So when it gets to the customer, maybe the editable QR code, you split test between leaving a review and a discount code for different ones of your products. You do some fake handwritten note. Thank you so much, right? If you order this one for a friend, they could potentially, love this one too. Blah, blah, blah. Just play with social engineering for your customers to see what gets them back in and being repeat buyers. Etsy love repeat buyers. Etsy love customers who are leaving you reviews. Now, the only weak link we are leaving open here is we found the right products. We have these scaling opportunities. We have the logistics managed. The only way that this store is going to fail is with poor customer service. If you're doing a good job if you're doing a bad job looking after your customers, you're getting cases, you're getting all of this. Now, something we like to do is our CSTs. So customer service templates. And typically it'll be like 1 to like 5. It depends on the store. So order comes in, right? There's the order, woo, there's our bracelet. Woo, there's the customer's order, customer details, blah, blah, blah. VA sends CST1 to them. And this is essentially saying, hey, customer name, Jane. Hey, Jane, thank you so much for your order of, what's the bracelet? It's the black onyx. Thank you so much, Jane, for your order of the black onyx. Just checking the address you've given. Sometimes it mistakes. Boom, boom, boom. Here's the address. You've now opened up the channel of communication. They know how to reach you. Now, the next checkpoint is going to be dispatch. Now comes CST2. This is when you say, thank you so much for confirming the previous details. Or, hey, Jane, just another update. We have dispatched the order. The tracking number is on the way to you. Or the tracking number is already on the order. You should expect to reach it this time. Right? Now, we have delivered. There is easy ways to track this and set up like emails and stuff. So guess what happens now? CST3. Hey Jane, thank you so much again for your order. I see it was delivered today. I hope everything met your expectations. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you like the extra sweets in the bag. I hope you like the wooden box. I hope it was a great gift. Editable different templates based on the type of order it is. And just keeping that channel open. They're going to be updated. They're going to have so much trust in you that they will probably come back and buy more. Again, you've opened the channel. So if the editable QR code right inside is not doing the trick to get the review, this is when you guess what? You fire CST4 off. And it would mean the world to me if you could leave a review and maybe a photo of your product, and you have to kind of be sneaky with how you try and reward them. Ideally on that first message you don't want to reward them, but maybe you want to prompt them back to maybe you can do it whilst eating the sweets, you know what I mean, something like that, something you've already done to them. And now you have the final one, which is basically saying this is like a few days now, this is probably like a couple weeks after this, reach back out to them, CST5, boom, 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 these are all your fucking products, these are all your other bracelets. We have another sale on at the minute for our for our previous customers. You know, use discount code blah blah blah, and you will get 10%, 15% off extra just for you, right? And now this flow can just be absolutely endless. Okay, reaching out to your customers, right? Giving them value, sorting them out. And then obviously you're going to have to deal with FAQs. Definitely not like that. FAQs, you're going to have to deal with complaints. Now, the best thing to do on Etsy with complaints, refund them. 1-star review. Customer left you a 1-star. How am I going to draw a star? Yeah. Right. Hey, I'm really sorry you had a bad experience with us. This does not happen often. I'm willing to refund your entire order, but if you could remove your 1-star review whilst we make this right for you, boom, 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 it would mean the world. This one-off blip order that's never happened before is going to really detriment my store. I've been working on this forever and ever and ever, right? You need to be replying to customers within 24 hours. Otherwise, your metrics are going to tank, okay? If you don't respond, they're going to open a case potentially. That says cases, right? I know I can't type. I write very well, but you get the idea, right? If you keep these metrics high, whoop, whoop, then you're going to be pushed more. Get your dispatch times fast as fuck. Keep your reviews high. Oh, Jesus. High. Then you are going to be bullet proof. Sweet as a nut. Now, anyway, guys, I hope this helped you how to actually run a super easy store like that bracelet one we had, and just not an easy store like that too. I hope it kind of explained a bunch of things. We went through a good amount there. First time doing some drawings like that. I'm going to practice. I'm going to get better so I can keep giving you the most value possible. Make sure you join Etsy Mafia. It's discord.gg/Etsy. I'm not selling you anything in there. I appreciate your time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the videos, right? If you like the videos now, but you don't in 3 months, you can always come back and unsubscribe. It's free now. It's free then. Enjoy your day.